Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and today I have a small little Bath & Body Works haul of two candles that I've been really anticipating. If you saw my Instagram post, then you already know which one of the candles are. But yes, there was yesterday a $10 off 3-wick candle sale, but I also had a paper coupon from my sister for 25% off that was supposed to expire or about to expire, and so I used that for the candles that I really wanted, and that's what today's haul is. So let's get into it. So yeah, the first one we have is Sweet Carrot Cake. Has finally showed up. This one has been a late release. Like we've seen evidence that it was supposed to come out, but then it was really delayed, and then so we weren't sure if it was going to come out, but then it did end up coming out. This was poured recently at the beginning of March, so it was a very quick turnaround. And so this one's the Somebody Loves You Sweet Carrot Cake right here. This one has a lid on it that says Happy Easter, as you can see right there. And this one says Sweet Cream Cheese Frosting, Fluffy Carrot Cake, and Cinnamon Spice. This one is $26.50. This is actually different wicks from last year's version. This one it's still white wax, but has a thick rope-like wicks on it, whereas if you recall last year's version, which sodded like crazy, has the flat curling wicks, as you can see right here. It smells mostly the same as I remember, but it could just be a generational or year to year, just slight difference from when they poured it, or one's a little bit older than the other, whatever. They're the same notes, but this one smells maybe a little bit spicier and little less cream cheese frosting than this one, but I haven't burned this version yet, so I can't really speak to what it smells like when it's burning. But those are only minute differences that I get from it, but still pretty much the same fragrance that we knew from last year, which was apparently a repackage of Pumpkin Carrot Cake, which is the fragrance that shows up on the name of the box that comes in shipment. But it basically smells like a carrot cake fragrance. I bought two of these because I really enjoy them. Other than the soot, it burned great down to the bottom, and it was plenty strong too, a medium to a strong fragrance. It just literally smells like carrot cake with cream cheese frosting on it. You get the fall type of spices in there with the cream cheese frosting, and that's literally what Sweet Carrot Cake smells like. It's actually quite authentic for a BBW bakery candle, so I really enjoyed it. Gives you a whole lot of autumn, fall vibes. If you're missing that in the springtime, then Sweet Carrot Cake could very much be Pumpkin Carrot Cake and pass for a fall fragrance. So I do actually quite enjoy this one. So that's the Somebody Loves You right there. So I'm excited to burn this one and see how it does, especially because the wicks are different from last year's. The next one we have is Ice Lemon Pound Cake, which, oh my god, I was looking for this one. Finally showed up in store, was just on the shelves. So I did pick it up, and this one is Sugary Glazed Icing, Pure Lemon Zest, and Fluffy Pound Cake. I think Pink Lilac and Vanilla, as well as Eucalyptus Springs in that collection were also out as well. And yes, so this one, yeah, I already talked about it on my Instagram, but oh my god, I love it so much. I've only burned it twice, and it was one time was really late at night, and then the other time was right when I woke up, but I only had maybe an hour to two, maybe an hour for it to just pull out, and I had to blow it out right away, so I can't give an accurate description on the throw or the performance of it, because it pulled out just very shortly. And so this was the one that I did already burn, but it was very light to medium in the bedroom. So I don't know, but people are reporting that it's more stronger, so maybe I just need to give it a little bit more time. But this, I believe, is actually a new fragrance, and it smells delicious. It literally smells exactly like the name would imply of an Ice Lemon Pound Cake. It's very moist and juicy, and that's what I like about it. It's kind of if you it reminds me when you go to the fall craft market or something, and they have a bakery booth, and you go buy a lemon pound cake, and it's still kind of warm in the fall time where I'm at. So you buy the lemon pound cake, and then you put it in your car, and it sits in your car for a while until you drive home, and then by the time it gets to the house, it's already kind of started getting warm in the car, and the drizzle of the icing has already started melting away into the cake, and it's just really moist and wet. You get that moist, wet feeling from the Ice Lemon Pound Cake that I really enjoy, but it really just smells like a loaf or a slice of Ice Lemon Pound Cake in there. You get a nice tangy and zesty, but still sweet lemon. It's not quite as sugary, Smarties, Pez Effervescent candy as let's say limoncello or lemon drops or sugar lemon zest. Those are all the same, very similar fragrance, but this one still has a different pound cake or bakery note in it that I enjoy. And it's a little bit more, instead of limoncello, it's a little bit more just sugared, sweet, vanilla glazed lemon type of fragrance to it. But yeah, so you get that really moist pound cake, and the drizzle has already seeped into the cake, and you just bite into it, and it's just that wet, gooey lemon pound cake that you eat, and it's literally what this smells like. It's actually quite delicious. I don't think it really shares any similarities to the pound cake note in Strawberry Pound Cake or Pineapple Pound Cake. That one's a little bit more of this slightly more dry texture, I want to say, to it. Especially because like the strawberry pound cake has like a sort of strawberry like cotton candy like fluffy drier texture, whereas this one's a little bit more moist and juicy. Like literally like the lemon cake has been like just sitting there and it's like, you know, seeped in and everything. It literally just smells like that. It's really delicious. You even get like the bouncy texture of the lemon pound cake as well. So yeah, really enjoyed it. So I did pick up, I had the first one that I had burned, and then I was like, okay, I need to get a second one because I'm really gonna enjoy this one, and that's that one right there. So there was that. And comparisons to other lemon candles, there was lemon cake pop, which is the same as the, was it tea and biscuits, which I have, but I don't have in my collection anymore. It's not that. This one's a little bit more bakery than the lemon cake pop one is. Lemon cake pop slash tea and biscuits is not overly bakery. We then also have the lemon lavender shortbread right here. And this one is sugar shortbread, this is lemons and fresh lavender sprinkles. This one has definitely a little bit more of a herbal lavender undertone to it. It's not super strong, but it's definitely more present, especially compared to this one's a little bit more like just bakery sweetsy cutesy. This one has a subtle like lemon undertone to it. But this one also reminds me more of like a dry, hard cookie shortbread with a hard like glazed icing on top of it that had hardened. Rather than this is like you get the sugar crystals of the gooey, moist like glazed icing dripping. This one's a little bit more like a hard solidified shortbread cookie with hard glaze on it. And that's the difference between those two. And then we also have, oh my gosh, what is this, from 2015, the Italy Tuscan Lemon Tart One Hit Wonder right here with the glitter lid on there. This one is rich buttery crust, Italian lemon, creamy vanilla, and sparkling sugar. Similar, but this lemon's a little bit less bakery and a little bit more like zingy and bright. Yeah, a little less bakery, but the lemon's a little bit more prominent and a little bit more tart. This one also has more of like a slight like powdered sugar dry quality to it. It's not as moist and juicy and drippy as ice lemon pound cake is, and that's kind of how this one differs. It smells more like what are those lemon icebox cookies or whatever, where it's like a hard like, you know, shortbread with like powdered sugar on it versus a gooey, moist, dripping ice lemon pound cake. That's kind of difference on that. And that kind of covers well, there's sugar lemon zest, lemon drops, and limoncello, which I already talked about. And then I guess in comparison to limoncello cupcake from Homeworks, just to be exhaustive, very similar fragrance to that, but that one leans a little bit more in that like a limoncello liqueur fragrance. And that one's super delicious. Very similar fragrances, but I feel like this one's still a little bit more moist and gooey than that one is. And I think that's an exhaustive lemon like bakery comparison that I can make on those. And those were the two like main candles that I was just like really gunning for, and so I was excited to get those, and like at least they had a 10 off, so it was like $12 and some change with the coupon. So we're good to go there. So now I'm just looking or waiting for Pink Shores and Ice Lemon Fresh Lemon Waves. Oh my god, so many names just going around. Fresh Lemon Waves and Pink Shores are the two other ones, and I think I'm good for this floor set, unless the Butterfly comes around. And let's see, moving on, speaking of Butterfly, I do have that. With that 25% off coupon that my sister was generous enough to give me, there was a free travel size body care item, and Butterfly has been previewing for a really long time. I think this one's like raspberries and vanilla and violet petals, which is very similar to, what is it, iris, blackberry, and vanilla of Open Sky. And so in any case, I do have the shower gel of Butterfly right here, the travel size one that I have redeemed the coupon. Have already used it. Immensely similar to Open Sky. Like, wow, like very sibling fragrances. But when you do go to use it, there is a slight difference between the two. But if you like Open Sky and want a sweeter, more candied version of Open Sky, then check out Butterfly, because they're like very much sibling fragrances, like so immensely similar. A similar berry note, similar floral note, and similar vanilla. It's so immensely similar to Open Sky, but once again, a little bit sweeter and a little bit more sugary sweet. And that's pretty much the only difference between the two. I feel like maybe a blackberry is a little less sweet than like a sugared raspberry, so maybe the raspberry in here is a little bit sweeter than the blackberry counterpart in Open Sky. And Open Sky has a distinctly, like, it doesn't list it as a note, but I feel like there's like a mum petal, slight bitter fall floral component to it that is kind of present in here. It's like a bittersweet like petal smell kind of in here, but sweeter in this than it is sort of like bittersweet in Open Sky. So I think if you like Open Sky, you'll enjoy this one. It's just a sweeter version of it. Very duplicate and redundant, which is par for the course with BBW these days, so not totally surprised by that. So that was my Butterfly review right there. I don't have any desire to get a full size of it, but if the candle comes out, I'd probably try that. And lastly, I was going through a friend's hand soap collection, and I was like, oh my god, I remember when I used to love hand soaps from BBW so much. Like, I've always loved all the fragrances and the variety, and they have a lot of good fragrances in the hand soap that don't come out in any other form, and I was like, oh my god, I missed that. So then went to the store, and they had a $3.50 sale on hand soaps, and I was like, well, let me like find something and try BBW hand soaps again. I don't want to get the plain foaming ones, because if you remember, like the foaming ones really like murder my hands, like just completely tear them up, like bloody, scaly, dry, just the worst. Like, it's just awful. The gentle gel is just marginally better, but still kind of drying, but not as drying as the foaming one. And then I guess they finally, because I was actually paying attention to hand soaps for once, they have a gentle and clean, made without sulfates, parabens, and dyes collection. And so I was like, okay, for $3.50, let me try this one and see if it does any better. It's all like the basic fragrances, like Japanese cherry blossom and warm vanilla sugar and fresh lemon or kitchen lemon. But I was like, I'll try rosewater and ivy, because like I really enjoy the hand soaps, and I was running dangerously low on my other like Miss Myers and soft soap hand soaps. So this one, everybody knows what rosewater and ivy smells like: soft rose petals, rain kissed ivy, and spring musk. And it actually is a little bit less, actually quite a bit less drying than the usual version. So when you compare the ingredients, the second ingredient in this is disodium lauryl sulfonate, and then the second ingredient in this one is ammonium lauryl sulfate. And when you do a little bit of Googling and searching for it, it says that the ammonium one, which is the one that's in like the plain old super like harshly drying hand soaps version, is supposed to be like a foaming agent, but there is often a common side effect of a lot of skin irritation, which can lead to dry, flaky, and irritated skin. And so that's the ammonium lauryl sulfate that exists in the regular foaming, harshly drying hand soaps. But then apparently the disodium lauryl sulfonate is another cleansing ability of skincare products, but it's supposed to be less harsh than the ammonium version, which is the second ingredient in this one. And so this one has the disodium one instead, which once again, I guess is supposed to be the less harsh one. It's not supposed to be as drying. So like, just in comparing the ingredients, this one does have a different second ingredient listed versus the harshly drying traditional formula. So I have used this one for 2 days now, and at least like 5 or 6 times, and my hands are definitely not as dry and like flaky as they are. Usually you have to give it a whole course of a week, but we'll see. But so far so good, promising results. And when you actually like put it on your hands, it's a little less, it's still very foamy, but it's not quite as foamy and lathery as the old versions. And it kind of reminds me of a little bit more like watery, runny Scentworks foaming hand soap counterpart, which is definitely not as drying for my hands as the traditional BBW one. So that was my $3.50 hand soap one. It's also made with 100% recycled plastic, and it's supposed to be formulated to support healthy hands, and supposed to be non-drying is what it says on the side there. So we'll see. Hopefully this one is good, and I guess I'll just have to kind of stick to the basic fragrances, but I guess that's still better than nothing. So there was that. And I think that's it for the whole haul. So yes, I'll try to burn through Ice Lemon Pound Cake and the Happy Easter Sweet Carrot Cake and try to do reviews on those just to see how they perform. And I think that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for watching if you watched this whole video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.